Yeah, Jeanne strats do not work with Bayonetta. Okay, so I gotta get out of that mindset. Because you get used with Jeanne, you have to get hit. Pardon me. Then you have to hit the dodge button within a 2 to 3 frame window. It's probably closer to 3 in order to get her witch time off. Because if you dodge like you normally would with Bayonetta or Rosa, it just doesn't work. You just miss it and so forth. And with Jeanne, you need to do that to get money and other practicalities. So, which is why it's so much harder to play as Rosa, which is the other lady here on the screen, other than Bayonetta, and go to Jeanne back to these characters, because you just get used to how the different ways they operate. And Jeanne is the hardest character, in my opinion, to definitely use in this game. She has Bayonetta 1 combos, because they did change up the combo set for 2, made them a little more streamlined, different tactics, different combo strings. And she does, 1/2 times damage, especially during witch time, but it's just that she takes that on top of it. So with Bayonetta, she is so much slower. It's kind of like, I've said it's kind of like moving through or swimming through molasses just about, or syrup, because you feel so much slower playing as Bayonetta. Which is funny, because this is what I actually started off with. I started playing normal or second climax mode when I started speedrunning this game.
Aesir spent the first eternity quietly looking upon the earth from his holy mountain, where we only see reality and make it match our rules of the world. Aesir saw through reality, and those visions became our world. These observations became Aesir's power. Aesir's eyes were truly the eyes that created the world.
Oops.
However,
get off my screen.
Aesir pitied the humans for their naivete and lack of...
It's not a Harrison Ford get off my plane, but it will do.
It was split into 2 equal halves and entrusted each to humanity's instincts. The right eye of light and the left eye of darkness.
So I play as Jeanne, like, I actually have notes I've made. I used to not have notes, I used to be able to kind of memorize everything, because the game was a lot simpler on the Wii U days. Then you go to, like, Switch, and it became, like, a lot more complicated, because, like, instantly, like, when we went from Wii U to Switch, we lost 15 minutes on time, like, we actually gained it. It was, like, times dropped instantly by 15 minutes just because of the speed difference for loading. And then original strats that had been discarded suddenly were the strats to use on Switch. So now it's like I actually have to have notes for what to do, like reminders, like, okay, like first wave on the plane, just do punch, kick, and switch to help gain up combo. Then taunt to do shorter ones, like, and so forth. Whereas like on the original Wii U days, you didn't have to do that. So, but now, because I do take notes and kind of use them as a guideline, with Jeanne, they're kind of loose, but with Bayonetta, you really need to kind of follow them. It has really sped up the game quite a lot. Okay, we're going to do a punch, kick, switch. Just like Jeanne, kind of. Well, I kind of was. There was a runner by General Beatrix, is this guy's name. He retired from speedrunning. Long combo, so I can slow Jeanne combos. But he had like the original strats I saw, like when I first started off running the game. And I took that like originally on the Wii U and modified them and changed them around, and that became the strats for a while. And then like the Switch version came out, and that like just changed everything. I was like, okay, those strats, like the original like first kind of strats like I had done like back when I first started speedrunning this game, didn't quite work, so I refined them even further to get even faster. So I discarded my first set of strats I had done for the faster Wii U strats, and then on the Switch, my original strats I had to discard were actually the faster ones. was like, okay, well, go figure that. So, like, 2-year-old strats were suddenly, like, the norm. It's like they were suddenly the things you had to do. My original discarded strats. Rude! We'll give him a frog. Frog and Toad are not friends. No, but General Beatrix was actually like, the guy I first saw do a speedrun of this game. This was actually his ESA. Yeah, it was his ESA like 2015 run. I think it was Jeanne I saw. That's why I kind of realized, oh, you can actually speedrun this game. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I love this game. Let's speedrun this. And so, like, I remember what he had kind of done, like on his like playthrough. Like he'd actually go into menus to do like lollipops and everything else, and on the disc version that just takes forever. So that's why I kind of refine them to figure out like how to do like inside like normal, like in the like on the fly, like do it instead of going in the menus for a lot of things. And also like the original strats were kind of like you didn't go like the first strats were not go to the store because you lost so much time. So it took like, it would take 20 to 30 seconds for the store to load up. So basically, like you had to like the original kind of like first version strats were never go to the store. We had to kind of change it around for the Wii U, or actually Switch when it first came out. I'm still thinking like normal mode, like because I forget like on easy mode you have 2 full magic bars and your life bar is a lot larger. So I'm like, I'm forgetting these things. I believe it was a character in Final Fantasy IX. But he was actually, he speedrun a lot of games. I started following him. Like I said, he was like my inspiration to start speedrunning this game. And like I saw that first original run. And then he dropped off for a while, and we were all like, I get like when he first kind of like disappeared, like he removed all his runs and stuff. And people would ask me, because I was the only active runner for this game, they're like, what happened to him? I'm like, oh, I don't know him, I would love to find out. So, you know, speculation ran wild and stuff, and then about a couple of months ago, he actually showed up in the Discord. He's like, hi, I didn't get kicked out for cheating or anything. It's like, I just had personal stuff going on, I decided not to speedrun anymore. It's like, okay, cool. So we asked him some questions, and he was asking questions about the current run and stuff, so, you know, it just turned out sometimes life, comes up, and, you know, you just gotta take care of that instead, and which was good to hear. It's good to hear it wasn't for, like, anything nefarious. Because that's what you fear, like, whenever, like, somebody's, like, runs suddenly disappear from the board, you like, always wonder, like, okay, did that person get caught cheating? Because that's what happens if you're cheating in this game, so that's why, like, everyone's like, what happened, you know? Oh, it's gonna be no punish, really? Oh, that's brutal. So that's all, so that was kind of like a happy story, I was happy to report. So, he's still around, but he's not speedrunning anymore. Robot things. What robot things? Or are you just talking about these things? These are actually like angels I was fighting before, and this is a demon that escaped from hell in my hair summon. for reasons I don't understand because I skip all the story. That's the fun of speedrunning this game. I don't know what the enemies are called, except for like one or two. And you skip, because you skip the introduction scenes, it tells you what they're called. And I'm sure there's I remember Jeanne saying something about like the angels are nervous, or like the demons down below, or like they're planning something or whatever. It has to do with the ending of the first game. The eyes of the world, creation. Like I said, it's all the story stuff that I don't know because I skip all of it to go fast. Yeah, pretty much. Also, welcome back, Sakito. But yeah, it's like, trust me, even as I speedrun this game, people are like, what's the story? I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I skip all of it. I have tried to go slow and do a lore run, like watch the story, and it just bugs me. I'm like, I have to go fast, have to skip these cutscenes. I don't care. Because if you play it normally, if you enjoy the game like I used to do, it's like an 8 or 9 hour game. You know, all the different story cutscenes and stuff explaining what's going on. But you know, speedrunning gotta go fast, so if you can skip it, it gets skipped. Okay, so I have to remember that, oh no, that was bad. Bad Bayonetta, you caught the post. So Jeanne does not have cooldown on her dodges, you can just keep dodging infinitely. But Bayonetta will have a cooldown on her 4th dodge. So you just can't start dodging infinitely, or else you're just gonna like flip out and waste time. And this is a fight skip. For me, this is actually like the hardest skip to do. And I don't do like, don't do the infinite witch twist skip yet. Because that one, if you trigger the fight, it's like it's razor's edge on top of that post I jumped on top of, the pillar. And if you trigger that, that triggers an arena fight that takes like a minute to get past, so it's pretty much a run killer within the first 12 minutes of the game. And that does happen. I mean, you can speedrun this game all you want, you can still screw it up. 177, awesome. Let's go for techniques first. Crow within, gotta buy bat within, Jeanne has that automatically. Items. And I don't need a hot shot. Famous last words. But because this is normal, or easy mode I should say, I have more health. I have like double health and double magic. I don't need to buy health extensions or pearls at all. Oh, got the cooldown. That's what happens if you dodge too many times. That's a bummer. Like I said, I have not played Bayonetta in a while, even on normal mode. Quite a lot of things you can mess. So on Jeanne, I skipped going over here because I had more than enough money. But now I need to get the Midas touch, which will basically, like, you activate it and it will double up your halos for a while, which I'm going to be using on the next fight. Okay, get the swords. Be using those in this run again. No! No! Time waster. This is going so well already. Alright, so this is the guy I used the Midas touch on, and if you take a look at like my Halo count, it's going up there pretty well. Nope, it's not gonna do it. Okay, so I guess it's kind of an iffy thing, like if it's gonna give you like the taunt on this guy for doing that. Taunting gives you a lot more money. Oh. Finger blocking up.
You've been naughty. So they're after you too, then. Have you been naughty?
Bayonetta and her bad back posture.
From Mummy.
Nope. Nothing comes to mind, love. Sorry. But since this is your bloody mess, do you mind hurrying the fuck up and getting rid of this thing?
Now, that's no way to talk to a lady. No wonder your guardian angels are trying to give you a good spanking.
Whatever, love. You've already been following me.
No, not even that, because I've known ladies who are well endowed, needing to have breast reductions, and you don't lift them back that way, because you'll probably break your back. They tend to make you slouch forward, I've heard.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your...
Well, this is a mistake. Don't taunt this guy. It's basically, it's like what they do is like they form a pact with like Inferno, which is like this game's version of Hell. And basically it goes back to like European witch lore that witches would get their powers from their hair. So basically that's why like her summons are actually basically parts of her hair. And of course, you know, the more powerful you get, the more naked you get, apparently. Yeah, so her clothes are actually her hair. Let that sink in for a minute.
Try to keep up.
Oh yeah, it's pretty wild. Need to switch this equipped over here. We'll use this, and no, we're not gonna. We'll use this one. There we go. And you're dead. Alright. Move over, please. Thank you. And just remember, Nintendo paid to have this game made because Bayonetta 2 was going to be cancelled because nobody wanted to publish the game at all. So Nintendo said, yeah, we'll do that. We'll give you the money to finish the game and release it. Which is why it's exclusive to Nintendo currently. Because they put up the money for this game. Which is kind of funny because Nintendo was seen at the time as like, oh, this is the family-friendly company and stuff. And they're like, Bayonetta? Really? Yeah, exactly. That's what surprises a lot of people. They don't know about that. Let's see. Treasures. Here we go. Star Fox costume. Which is kind of funny because they came back with like costume designs for like Princess Peach and Daisy. And they made them pretty modest because they're thinking, well, it's Nintendo. They're going to want to have things kind of more covered up. And Nintendo like reps like, can you make it look like a little sexier? So they're like, okay. So yeah, it's kind of funny that Nintendo is kind of like slowly starting to shed their family-friendly thing, especially because a lot of their games now are uncensored, where Sony is censoring games. So it's kind of weird how Nintendo went from censorship history to having uncensored stuff now, and you know, making sure games like Bayonetta 2 and 3 are being made, which is why they are exclusive to the Switch. Oh, really, game? Come on, don't be bad like that. Be cool. Need you to be cool, please. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why, and that's why at first I was like, why is this game Wii U exclusive? Like, I was upset just like a lot of people were because I bought the original game on the 360. And if you have a PlayStation 3, never, ever, ever in the world play Bayonetta 1 on the PS3. It is terrible. Not even as a joke. Don't even do it that way. So, yeah, so it's like literally this game was going to be canceled because they couldn't get the money. And then Nintendo's like, yeah, we'll give you the money to finish the game and release it. So that's why it's a Nintendo exclusive, which is why it was kind of surprising to see that that Bayonetta 1 actually got a PC release. And then people were like, well, maybe Bayonetta 2 will come out. It's like, not likely. This is straight off Nintendo's baby.
Come on, love.
Which is also why Bayonetta's in Smash. It's part of that partnership.
All right. It seems I can
yeah, PS3 games started off not that great, but they got pretty good near the end. But I mean, this game was atrocious. Like, the first game runs 60 frames per second. That was a target goal for it, and the PS3 version was like literally 20 to 15 frames. It was bad. Need to get rid of these guns. Here we go. Now, you can get up to the door, but it doesn't do anything on this. You just can't skip it. Which is why I kind of like about New Game Plus, because you can skip through all the cutscenes and conversation dialogue. So, like, in that like whole talking thing, you can actually get to the door, but it doesn't matter, because it still puts you back a little bit. First game was actually, it was Sega funded the game, and then Platinum was the makers of it. Because Platinum at the time was, like, they're trying to change it right now. They're basically where they make their own games, but they're like publishers, like, they make games for other companies. So Platinum was contracted to make the game for Sega. So it's like this weird kind of like licensing deal with like Sega licenses out to like the ability for Bayonetta to Platinum to make the game for Nintendo is putting up the money to fund it. I'm probably getting it all backwards, but it's this really kind of weird convoluted thing.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mother.
Because I tell people, like, you know, if you want to have, like, if you want to play this game on computer, better emulate it. Because odds of it coming to PC are extremely, like, slim to none. Thankfully, with Iwata out of Nintendo, you know, due to unfortunate circumstances such as death, they've started doing, like, mobile games now and things like that nature, so that's good, but, you know, PC releases for Nintendo are probably not going to happen.
Made me a deal. He's my guide, and he's not done guiding. I think we're going in entirely different directions.
And for those of you who may be new, like first time seeing this game, the reason why I have the Star Fox costume is that it speeds up the damage you do. It doubles your gunshots at the end, so it turns out that the guns, like your default weapons, are actually the best weapons in the game just about, for a good chunk of it. No! Forgot about your stupid dodge window. Just take the hit. Pardon me. The reason why I wouldn't know is because you don't really want to get witch time here because it just slows down and you lose time. Yeah, that would be quite the improvement, but I mean, Nintendo's got to do it, and I've had this conversation. I know you're pretty new to my channel, you know, like watching and stuff like that, which is cool. But like I've had like conversations before where it's just like Nintendo is a very Japanese company. But everyone's like, no duh, but it's like, the Japanese culture is like, I've always done it, this is how I'm going to do it, I am not going to change, which is why they don't know how to do online stuff. And they think they can just keep doing what they're doing like 30 years ago and everyone will do it because that's the way that they've always done it. They don't see the need to change. And that's why Nintendo's behind the ball on so many things. Because like the Super Nintendo, as popular as it was an underpowered system compared to the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on where in the world you are. So, you know, so ever since then, with the exception of the, I would say the GameCube, I think the GameCube was, yeah, it wasn't as strong as the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox. I'd say with the exception of the Nintendo 64, they had mostly done underpowered systems because it saved them money on production and stuff. And that's why they went with it. And like even this, like right now, the Switch is a Tegra chip, an NVIDIA Tegra, which is like a cell phone processor, higher end, of course. But it's like, and then you have everything that's far more powerful, like the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and they're just still stuck in the past. Like the Wii U was basically slightly stronger. Actually, it's about on par almost with the Xbox 360. I think it was. It might have been slightly stronger. But the reason why it like got almost no games and developers hated it was because they were like, okay, well, we got the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360. Why should I tone myself down to your like 10 years behind the ball technology? Well, there's always emulation! I always love this stuff. It's like, emulators are good. Dolphin works pretty well. I mean, you can still run it on, like, the newest revisions. You can run it a lot better than what it used to be. Stop trying to troll me. Stop trolling, bro! Okay, he's dead. Yep, Dolphin Emulator runs pretty well. I mean, people can get it to like run on Pis almost, like very low-end laptops even. So that might be a thing you might want to look into. Because it's technically on your monitor. Or you can buy yourself a capture card and then a RetroTink 2X like I have, and go the really expensive route to play retro games on your computer / stream. It's not too hard, fortunately. It's a little kind of weird when you start trying to do like Wii U games, or not Wii U games, Wii games. That gets a little trickier. I don't even think it requires a BIOS even really to run games. It's been a while since I set mine up. Of course, though, with Dolphin, you will need an ISO file, which are easily found on the internet. It's because it doesn't run games off of the, you know, your CD or DVD drive, which a lot of them aren't really equipped to run that anyway. Alright, so, grab yourself pen and paper or notepad. Uncle Wurzels is going to tell you some really good tips here for you. So, there's a place called MU Paradise. I think it's MU Paradise. Do you want to say something completely wrong? Is it MU Paradise? It is! So, there's a place called MU Paradise, and they were known to have, like, quote-unquote shut down, like, oh, we're scared of stuff here, but their downloads are still up. You just have to go through kind of a weird way to get to them. But they have, like, GameCube ISOs, PlayStation 2 games, I mean, they got just about everything you can think of. So if you Google MU Paradise workaround, like one of the first things you'll find is like it tells you like go here and download a script like it's an add-on for your Chrome extension. I think they also have it for Firefox too. And basically it's a script changer. So then you can go to MU Paradise and you can download all those games. Because they're not going to work normally because they removed off all the links, but this actually restores them. And they know about it, and they just kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, don't tell anybody. But that's like the first place to go to definitely do like MU Paradise workaround. Yeah, it's basically a script modifier. Like in the most simplest of terms. Because basically it's like, they took out the links, but they still have everything in the database for MU Paradise, which is kind of funny, because they're like, we're removing our downloads, and then they know that this is up because they're still getting downloads per month, you know, people are still doing it like I do. So when you go to like where you normally download a game, and there wouldn't be anything, like you'll still see the link there, like download, let's say Burnout, for example, because I was playing that the other night, like Burnout 1. And then you click on it, it'll say, sorry, we've removed all the games from the service type deal, blah, 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 all lies. If you have that extension or script modifier, you'll see download using workaround. And you just click that link instead, it'll say like download Burnout using workaround, and it'll just start downloading instantly. And they got pretty good speeds. It's a plugin you can have for Chrome. I think they also have it now for Firefox, if you're a Firefox user. Screwed that up. Give me a minute here. think it's like Script Monkey is what it's actually called, but I'll get you the direct link to the site. Yeah, so here you go. So basically, I mean, no matter what I do, I'm going to do better time, pretty much. I'm going to guarantee it. So if you go to that webpage and you scroll down, it's telling you about Tamper Monkey, which is what it is there. And you'll see, like, Chrome users download Tamper Monkey, Firefox users download Grease Monkey. Just install it. It is safe, because I would not tell anybody to download something if it was not safe, especially, you know, being trained for IT. There's no way in hell I'd say, here, download this wonderful virus installer, because it's like, that would be stupid. But yeah, it's not virus, it's not malicious, and then you can go to MU Paradise and pretty much download anything. The only problem I found with it that you can't download through MU Paradise is Dreamcast games, because they have multiple versions of. Like, they'd have a GDI version, and then like a different ISO version, things like that. And the script isn't designed to handle multiple plugins like that. It'll only do like simple stuff. So PlayStation games, PlayStation 2, GameCube, they all work just fine. Yeah. So what's the title of this run? Piracy is cool. Wurzel teaches you how to pirate video games that are technically not for sale anymore. Okay, so my notes say to red on Hot Wheels. Okay, because I call this guy Hot Wheels. What's the worst that can happen? Technically, if it's being monitored, your ISP might give you a warning saying you're downloading like illegal content, but I have not heard that ever happening to MU Paradise users, so that would be a first. It's like I've heard like some certain sites like where you can download PlayStation 3 games actually having that problem. It's like because somebody's monitoring like oh you downloaded from this site and that's protected copyright content. And that's why I say get yourself a VPN, virtual private network, because all your information's encrypted. Yeah, exactly. Just like you said, that's where the VPN comes in. Dang right, baby. So what am I playing on? I am playing on the Nintendo Switch. I've actually streamed an emulated run of this before using Cemu emulator, but runs for that are not allowed because it still tends to load slightly faster than the Switch in certain parts. So that's why emulators are banned for speedruns of this game. But just to have fun or practice, I tend to fire up the emulator. Especially for like practicing and trying things out, like if I need to see how fast, like how many frames or something is dropping in the game, or test something out a lot faster, because I can also put up like controller inputs on the screen on an emulator, fire up the emulator and test stuff that way, because you can get pretty close to what the Switch looks like running through emulation on your PC, if your PC is strong enough to handle it. The Cemu is a little bit beefy.
Call it a woman's intuition.
I would say if you have a computer or a card made within the last 3 years, like a video card, you know, anything in GTX 960 and above, because that's what I have, will run Cemu emulator in a lot of games, no problem.
What?
But I speedrun on the Switch because it has the fastest loading times. The Wii U, you are looking at like 25... If you're playing on the disc version, about 30 seconds to load up a level. The digital version on Wii U is about 25 to 24 seconds. On Switch, it's 8 seconds or less.
Does that make any sense?
It's like, it's a lot faster to play on Switch.
Can't let the girls know you've got a heart.
It's not like that.
If that's all you know, that's all the sense you need. Just believe. That's what I did.
Bayonetta.
Okay, here comes the troll orb.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mum.
See, that's what I tried to do last time with Jeanne. Oh, where are you going? Get over here. Yeah, this thing can troll, as you can see. Like, nope, we're gonna stand here instead. We're gonna walk out of the way, even though we're angry. Do I play Bayonetta 1 on PC? Yes! Actually, I streamed that last week. Just playing through and having fun with it. I don't speedrun that game because it's too much of a toll on my body because of my health problems I have and problems with my back. But I do enjoy it a lot, but the PC is by far and away the best way to play Bayonetta 1. I mean, it runs on a toaster just about. You can literally play it like Bayonetta 1 on like a 7-year-old computer and run it at almost 4K 60. So, it's also really cheap. I mean, it goes on sale quite often. I'm in the United States, so when it goes on sale, it drops from like $19 to $5 just about. And I bought it at $20 when it came out, because I was like, heck yes, I'm going to support this. So yeah, if you can play it on PC, it's the best way, I would say, to play it hands down. Especially if you're going to be doing speedrunning, because I know all the speedrunners played on PC now because of, like, it's literally no loading on that. It's like, loading's pretty fast on the Switch, but the PC version of Bayonetta 1, like where you have like the practice screens and stuff where it's loading, like a lot of times you blink and it's gone. It just loads so ridiculously fast.
He's chasing us down.
Oh! I can't believe it. Just barely there, so it took the damage, so silver.
If I can just
That's gonna give me just normal platinum, that's crazy. Kill the frog for fun. Need to get rid of swords. Swords are a lot of fun for casual play, but outside the hitbox that they have, which is gigantic, as you saw earlier, also just like hitting everybody left and right, they're very, very weak. So casual play swords are a lot of fun, but in the speedrun you barely use them. Okay, that was chapter 5. Don't want to shop here. Actually, want to avoid the shop. Save some time. Oh, I do that every time, because you get used to like the intro levels, like always having a cutscene to skip. This one doesn't have that. Really? You're gonna play that game? Okay.
Saying that's just going to make me taken there. After I've taken care
Oh
of
yeah, he's trolling.
Is that all you've
See, that's supposed to knock him off the shield, and it's deciding not to do it. So this game will just sometimes just flat out troll you. It's like, it's just gonna happen certain runs. It's no biggie. I already have the world record for this, so I'm just basically cleaning up my time, hopefully a little bit better, in theory. Alright, he's dead. DED! So a lot of times when you have these scenes that you can't skip in the game, I'm pretty much theorizing that it's loading in the background. Like it's doing background loading where it's trying to show you stuff and basically pretend it's faster. You can't skip this part. It's the end of the level. And it does it again later on in chapter 10, I think it is? Yeah, the end of chapter 10 is another one where you beat it, and they're forced to walk away as cutscenes, and there's nothing there. There's no reason to hide any loading because the level's over.
Like my new haircut?
Okay, let's hit the store.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady.
Let's see, sometimes you can hang down to the lower right and all the missiles will miss you. There we go.
If you need to learn how to talk
I think it dropped the combo on me. Weird. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it dropped a combo. Now we go into more missile spam. And it starts to suck you in. A lot of people go like, oh my gosh, I gotta get away, but you actually want to run forwards because you have to do this part. You don't lose any life or anything. So you actually want to swim towards the deadly abyss. There we go with the ultimate eye exam. Perfect, that was your vision. 1 or 2? Which one's better? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? Always afraid to mess that up, the optometrist. You're like, 2, and the next thing you know you have like glasses that are like a foot thick. They don't need the Hubble. I mean, you can just look up at the sky and go like, oh yeah, I can see that star. Oh, look, a secret lunar base on the moon. Really? Nothing there? That's unusual. There we go. I want to get that now so I don't have it interrupt me in the middle of the fight. Oh my gosh. It torture attacked the wrong guy. Thanks, game. Try the torture attack this guy because you can just speed up this fight dramatically that way, and I decided to just waste all that on the little nobody. Balder's trolling. There we go. Yeah, Balder can troll pretty hard. Usually this fight's a good indicator of how the rest of the game's gonna go. Because you fight him in chapter 12? Still can't remember. No, it's chapter 13. And I call him Peacock Balder or Troll Balder because it can get pretty crazy. I actually have a clip of me getting one-shot killed by one-frame sword summon, which is not supposed to be possible, but the game did it anyway. It's like it literally summoned the sword in one frame to hit me. It was impossible to dodge. Alright, so now we're gonna finally get to some skips. So, I mean, there was one fight skip like very early in the run, but now we're gonna have the next two levels are gonna be skips. Fight skips, basically. So the first skip is basically it's going to be a flyover. If you do the infinite witch twist, you can do that instead. You can actually go right up to where the mini-boss is, kind of like mini-boss at this level. And it saves like about 3 seconds versus doing it this way that I'm doing now. You do run the risk of actually messing this up, which it still happens even though I've done this like hundreds of times. Like where you just don't grab the edge and jump yourself up. So that's a fight skip because normally you'd go forward onto a new platform and have to fight this new harder bad guy. Waste a lot of time, so we just skip them. And then for fun, I just leap off. But I'm okay!
Keep up. Hey, wait! It needs something to open it.
See, this is why the swords are good. You can see, like, I'm already hitting people who are well outside of my area. Troll! That's why I hate this guy. That's why I torture attack him. Just to get rid of him as fast as possible. Okay, there are crafting materials I need over here, because at the end of the game you basically need to... Where are you aiming? You need to make yourself more lollipops in order to speed up the fight. I need this. I need the hammer. Now, with Bayonetta games, this one threw me for a really big loop. If you start finding record pieces, they're basically parts for weapons. So, they would all be contained in one level. This is the only weapon that is in 2 separate levels. So you get part of it here, and you get part of it in the next level that's after this. So that, like, really threw me out the first time I played this casually. I was, like, hunting everywhere. I'm like, where am I missing the weapon piece? And it turns out it's just the next level. Which, when put together, gives you the hammer, which is a pretty crucial tool. Providing you can jump cancel with it fast enough and properly. Okay. This is another mini skip. Normally you'd run across in this. When you try to go up the stairs, you'll trigger another fight. Pardon me, you'll trigger another fight. So just keep going straight. Get a lollipop. Here's the next piece of the record I need. So it's 2 pieces in this level and then 1 in the next, which gives you the weapon. Then everything else after that is all in 1. And there's also another fight skip right here.
Try to keep up.
And this fight is a pain in the butt because there is no discernible way to like make them spawn in a certain way or get hit. I used to try to do like swords here, sword spins, and it was just still completely unreliable. You just never know what they're going to do. Even on New Game Plus, they can still go all over the place.
You've been naughty.
And every once in a while, this part will glitch and it'll get stuck in the stairs. There's nothing you can do until that thing just hits you and makes you start at the bottom again. I would say it's like a 1 in 50 chance it happens. I haven't seen it in quite some time.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady.
That was easy.
Alright, this level's done, and inside the red ones that I've been avoiding, like the first one had part of a moon pearl, and if you get 2 of those it increases your magic, and the low one I just passed right now has part of a heart. If you get 4 pieces of heart, that extends out your life, but I'm doing an easy speedrun at the moment. I just got done earlier doing a normal Jeanne run, got a world record on that. But when you play it on easy right now, which is not really a whole lot easier, but you do have double magic and health you normally would, so you don't need to pick those up at all. Okay, more items. Now we get to do my favorite skip, the one that I've nicknamed the butt clencher, because when you first start to learn it, you kind of clench up and go, oh god, because you have to make a lot of kind of quick movements real fast. Which is what I kind of like about this game, is that the majority of it is just memorization and physicality. It's not like there's no glitches in this game. You can get out of bounds, but how the game loads, it loads in chunks and sections, so if you get out of bounds, it does nothing. So it's like you can't keep going with the game. So it's all mostly just movement and memorization for what to do. Like, okay, here comes a skip I need to do. That's actually a fight skip. I hate this guy. So annoying. Okay, then we taunt right here in order to keep the combo going. If you don't, it drops. Alright, now we're gonna go get the last piece of the hammer. And I've actually gone back and hit this shop here and just to get the hammer, see if it would speed up this fight. It does not, so it's just better to get it before the start of the next chapter. Then we'll do this, which saves a second. First running up the stairs the long way. If you played Bayonetta 1, you will recognize this summons, because it didn't work in the first one, but it does now. Before, like when it goes to like hit the spike, it used to drop on the ground and all the arms would run in and punch it, but this time it actually works. Yay, throwbacks.
You've been naughty.
There we go, now he's done. Now comes the next 4 levels I absolutely hate in the game, because they can end your runs ridiculously quick. The next level is pretty much nothing but a mini-boss, rush level. You get the wonderful spider, who is pretty much a copy of almost the one from Devil May Cry, because same person made this game. Alright, items, purples, reds, red. So now we have the hammer, so the hammer becomes highly useful when you start doing jump canceling, which means you attack, then you hit jump to cancel it. Because it's powerful, but it's slow. So if you can get the speed up, that's the way to go. I didn't mean to rhyme at that time. Oops. There we go, recovered. screwed that up. Alright. And screwed it up again. Alright. I am missing my hammer jump cancels tonight, I swear. Yeah, it's not bad. It's always cool to have people watch. Which sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean. Wurzel After Dark. Cue the saxophone music. Trust me, you do not want to see a bald, 280-pound, like, fat man just stripping with, like, sagging skin. It will not be worth it. If you find it attractive, please seek mental help. There is help out there for you. It's like whenever a woman finds me attractive, I'm like, are you sure? I mean, I've seen me. You could do a lot better.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask.
And this guy, I just straight up torture attack because he can literally kill you in one hit. I do not play around with that guy whatsoever. Other speedrunners like, oh, I'll just go through and attack him. It's like, no, if he's gonna one-shot you and like end your run, just torture him. Take the extra like 2 or 3 seconds you lose to just make sure he's dead instantly. Oh, come on. Now on the Wii U, on the disc version, you'd be stopped by an invisible wall on a lot of these because it's trying to hurriedly load the next sections as quickly as possible. So you'd just be there jumping into an invisible wall until it loaded up far enough, and then you could finally go. And a torture attack. Just to speed things up. Is this guy control? Yeah, like nobody's business. Like, you can go to Witch Time and he will not be affected by it. And he likes to run, so the hammer is kind of useless. Yeah, Sloth is a pain in the butt. He is one of the few enemies I've learned the names for. Because he is terrible. And if you play on Infinite Climax, which is the hardest difficulty, he can one-shot you. Just about one shot. Okay, we're going to run over here and get the magic. And why am I jumping constantly? Because I figured something out about this game, is that you actually move faster when you're falling than if you do just running straight. Which is why, like, when I was playing as Loki, just like running up, being chased up the staircase, I kept jumping because that is actually faster.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, Radon, I need you to kill these people, please. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I need to go back and practice my hammer jump cancels. I'm messing something up. Because I have this down cold like a week ago. Yeah, so Rodon here is all RNG. He can either stomp and take everybody out, or just take his time and slowly walk towards everybody, so you really never know what you're gonna get. Which sounds like a Forrest Gump thing, yes, more of that. There we go, he finally stomped. And this is the other section where the level's over, but you can't skip it.
And so is my time.
But you can take a picture. I can take lots of pictures.
Jeanne, there she is.
Hold up. You're not seriously thinking.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun for me to go through and try to erase all those stupid pictures one by one. Why did I think this would be funny? It wasn't.
Don't go shooting up my target, you dig? I need that one intact.
You've been naughty.
That performance might make
Alright, so next up is Alarain, and she is literally like the run ender. She can just like totally cheese you out, which is not uncommon. Her second phase is ridiculously easy. That's like an instant win just about. But her first phase can troll you, like she can dodge constantly and dodge every single attack you throw at her. She has a move where she will grab you no matter where you are and basically start sucking the life out of you. And as soon as you land, you drop your combo. All sorts of really, really dumb things can happen with her. She has ended a lot of my runs. No. There we go. Yeah, she'll dodge your Wicked Weaves. This is pretty much normal for her. This is why she's such a pain in the butt. She's actually acting more like she does on third climax versus easy. Like I said, she just trolls like nobody's business. Okay, I need you to focus on the right person, please. Okay, so this part right now, this is like super easy. So let's switch this over to Hammer. I say this is going to be like my famous last words. Let's use that. We're good to go. Forgot to taunt her for like easy money. Taunt her again. And then this time, you do not taunt her. You don't have enough time, really, and she'll just instantly wreck you if you try. So the first two phases you can taunt, but this last one, no need. And taunting, of course, it jacks up your Halo, so I can't remember exactly who figured this out. It was about a month ago. Someone figured out, like, hey, if we taunt 2 times during her second phase, you just, like, your money just skyrockets like crazy. I'm like, ooh, because getting money in a normal speedrun is like one of the hardest things to do in this game because it gives you like your money making level is 2 levels away from the end of the game. And you need at least 500,000 halos to buy the Earrings of Ruin, which basically transforms your big giant Umbran climaxes, like those big giant like hair fists you see coming out, into the ride armor you do in chapter 14, which speeds up the final boss fights by a considerable amount. Boss fights that would take anywhere between up to like 2 minutes can be done in under 30 seconds. Usually even under 20. So when I figured out the Earrings of Ruin strat, when I started doing that, like my times dropped like, I want to say easily like 5-6 minutes. Now, as I mentioned before, like jumping, like falling in this game, you go faster. But this level here, like the magical unicorn ride, as I call it, as I named it, it's actually faster to be on the ground, so you actually don't want to jump constantly. You want to be on the ground to go faster. So this is like the only time I'll jump, other than the beginning, is right here. This other platform, you just run right onto it. You don't have to jump. It looks like you need to, but you can just keep running straight. So other than that, I will not be jumping for the rest of this part at least. Fall off so you can hit the ground and go faster, because if you jump on all the things like the game normally wants you to do, it slows down this level by around 5 to 6 seconds. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like I said, when you're trying to go for that world record, it's really going to make a big difference. If you decide to speedrun this game, if you decide to do that, or if you just want to go fast casually, you got that option too. And also, for some reason, the developers decided to put a hitbox on the tip of this guy's horn. So on that last dodge, sometimes they'll catch it and you'll lose a easy pure platinum because of that. Alright, so now we have Peacock Balder, aka Troll Balder, coming up, and he is a troll. So he was kind of misbehaving on the first fight I did. We'll see how he goes for the second time. Come in here, I'm going to use this bad boy, and we'll use that. Okay, that does not work well. It's like, let's try the fast strats. I've heard the fast strats work here. They don't. They don't work fast at all. I was lied to. More than usual. Yeah, so I figured out a way to do like rapid fire hammer jump canceling. But the problem is that when you have so much stuff going on the screen, the frame rate will drop from like 60 down to 40 to 45, and that makes it a lot harder to do if it's not consistent. So basically, and it also for whatever reason is slower. It's like it doesn't. You think like if you can get most of those Umber and climaxes to come out faster, like those Wicked Weave attacks, that you'd be doing more damage. But it's actually the inverse. If you go slower with more methodical jump canceling, it actually does more damage, which is what we call counterintuitive. Let's see. Mega, we'll just get a red hot shot just for fun, just to make sure I don't screw up and die. And this is the last of the troll levels, so to speak. Camera goes crazy because it wants you to look at something off in the distance, which we don't care about. Yay, magic. More magic down here. No. Denied. If you play Bayonetta 1, you will recognize this area very quickly. Rosa helps. Yeah. Rosa is like really annoying. She's fun to play as, but in this level she's just a frustration because she keeps like hitting everybody up top. Like you just want to like hit them, and you'll be doing a hammer jump cancel on them, and she'll knock them into the air, like out of your cycle. So it's like, you're not helping me, Rosa. You're actually slowing me down. Please stop trying to help. Go sit in the corner. Alright, Nimix, thanks for hanging out, man. least you got to see a world record again, which is not too uncommon sometimes on my streams. Dropped input. And then we get out of the way in time. There we go. Rosa is so much fun to play as because she does 3 times the damage as Bayonetta, but as a result she takes 3 times the damage. So it's like she dishes it out and she takes it in turn, so... So it's like you go ripping through the game in like really ridiculously fast times, but you know, like you'll get one-shotted by a bad guy and die instantly. Oops. Got caught on the geometry. And we were trying to find a way to skip this part, and it's just not possible. It's like they actually have a ceiling going all the way up to the wall. You know, all the way, like they have an invisible wall going all the way to the ceiling, as well as trying to say, and butchering completely. Oh, I want magic! Magic is more useful. Yeah, so we're thinking like maybe we could do like an infinite witch twist around the corner, or anything else, and they thought somebody was going to figure that out, so it is impossible to skip. You have to do that raise. There we go. And another fight skip. See you later. Yeah, I am just dropping hammer inputs left and right tonight. Good lord. Well, this is my second run, so maybe I'm just tired. I just got tired of the southern accent. Yeah, that actually comes out a little bit because I spent time in Missouri, so when I get tired or exhausted, one of those southern accents starts coming out. The fun of growing up a military brat, you could get accents from just about everywhere. Alright, onward to the money-making level. At almost the end of the game. Okay, what am I sitting at now? 300. I'm doing pretty well, but I want to make sure I do even better. So we're going to do what's called Gaze of Ruin strats. It's basically instantly... Gaze of Despair, that's what it is. Basically what it does is it automatically taunts everybody. And I use it in the beginning parts. Midas Testament, here we go. Because you can make a lot more money if somebody is taunted. And this is the way to do it. So after this level, I need to make sure I have at least 500,000 halos to buy the Earrings of Ruin, which will basically turn all those Wicked Weaves you saw into the ride armor that I'm going to be in, this giant mech. So instead of having like giant fists come out, you turn into this thing and just destroy everybody. Okay, need to go into here real quick. And because you can't use this in there, you actually got to turn it on inside. You can't. It's the only item that you cannot use from inside the menu. And you know what? I forgot to put on my Gaze of... yeah, so I spent the money to get the Gaze of Despair, and I forgot to put it on. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that right now, because I don't care. That's how I roll. Let's see, start. There we go. So I was thinking, like, why am I not making enough money? I'm like, nobody's taunted. That's why. Alright, so now let's put it on, so now it'll work. Yeah, okay, so... now they're going to be automatically taunted, they're going to be angry, but I'll be getting a lot more halos. There we go. Rosa, stop helping. Because you're not. If you can land like a witch time in here, it really speeds things up. Like, also gets even more money. As you can see, it's like I almost maxed out my combo meter. I actually just did it at the very last second, so that was cool. Because it maxes out at 9.99 and then 9999, but it maxes out there, but you can still go even higher. It just doesn't show you what it is. So when I did my Jeanne run earlier, I actually got like 1.3 million halos at the start, like in the World of Chaos, but my combo meter was not showing what it actually was until afterwards. So let's see, this is not going well. We'll see if it's going to drop my combo. It probably is. Nope, actually didn't do it. Cool. It actually kept it. Because it can, your combo can drop at this point. It's basically no fault of your own. That basically the game just decides to spawn this guy in late. So if you really need to have money, it's super stressful. Actually, going to take off the gaze right now. We're going to put it back on for the last section. But the next coming fight is really trollish if you have it on, because it basically, the boss tries to like jump around a lot and throw missiles at you, would just waste time, so it's just better to take it off for that particular fight. Yeah, I'll start doing this a lot, basically. Now, the next part coming up, we're going to be flying through the air because, of course, it's a Platinum game and they love to have you in the air. And put on your gaze again. And if you really need to make money, use nothing but your guns. Just basically fire them as fast as you can. And it's a little bit slower, but you will make a lot of money. I mean, it's easy to max out your combo gauge here. I'm just showing it off so you can see, like, right now. I just need to build up magic real quick. There we go. But right now the combo score is maxed out, so it's not going to be showing me any more, but it's still climbing up even higher. So I'm just making a crap ton of money right now. And he's done, so we'll see. So I'm at 428,000, probably go 600, 700, yep. Almost 700. Oh crap. Forgot I had that on there. This is going to be a problem. Right. Going to equip this over here, and we're just going to use it. There we go. And that's the money-making level. And almost the end of the game. I think I'm at 800,000 now. We'll see in a second, because I gotta hit the store. Yeah, so I started the level around 200,000, now I'm at 800,000. Let's see, accessories, here we go. Earrings of Ruin. Rosa, you're not helping. This is what I mean by, like, Rosa helping. Just, like, knocks him right in the air. It's like, I need you to be on the ground so I can shoot you, please. It's her main move. She just keeps knocking everybody in the air. It's like, please stop. I need to kill people. People must die. Must pay for their transgressions. These boat things were a big problem in Bayonetta 1. I actually hated them. Those were like my worst enemies. But now, like in Bayonetta 2, they got nerfed so bad you can actually kill them with your guns.
Is that all you've got? So close.
Actually, I'm thinking guns are probably gonna be faster for this part. So normally we just keep using like the hammer, but I'm thinking guns are probably seem to be faster. I need to rethink this. Pardon me, rethink the strategy. As my throat instantly goes bone dry. Okay, he's down.
You've been naughty.
Let's try this. Just out of curiosity to see if it'd be faster. Nope. Rosa still knocks him away. No, I do not want to get out of the damn mech, please. Thank you. It's like, game's like, didn't you want this? No, I do not. I need it for the next fight. Yeah, just look at his health bar, it just goes away. Which is why we get the Earrings of Ruin, because this used to be like a 1.5, 2-minute fight. I think this gets done with Bayonetta in under 30 seconds now. Pardon me.
And now, if you'll excuse me, my dear.
That took 19 seconds in game time. That used to be, like I said, about a 1.5. Hey, you came back. Did you bring me gifts? Well, you're back just in time for the final level. The best Star Fox level in recent memory.
Diplomacy
Ooh.
has failed.
Said M for nothing. Yeah, just starting with an M though. Something this might be like a 150, just about. We'll see. I don't know what it is, but you guys are like the hardest for me to always hit, even like in playing without the Star Fox costume. Now, every once in a while, somebody brings up, like, hey, like, why doesn't anybody do a pure platinum run? And the reason why is because you would have to hit every single enemy. One of the reasons is you have to hit every single enemy in this part without missing one. Like, you have to kill every single bad guy that's flying around, which is kind of not hard to do. It's actually not, I mean, kind of is hard to do, I should say, so I messed that up. But yeah, that's one of the requirements. So if you fail that, so if one guy gets by, you got to restart this level again. It's like, that's why nobody's going to run this pure platinum. There, you can't do any of the fight skips. You have to. I think you get killed by that. You can't do any of the fight skips. You have to get platinums on everything. If you screw up, you have to start over. And it's like, and that would be probably around a 6-hour run. What my estimates would be for having to do everything in this game as fast as you can. Then people bring up, like, what about 100%? It's like, okay, so you have to get everything. You have to max out all of your items, all your lollipops, which means you have to grind forever on that. That takes at least 2.5 hours to get at least what we need for a new Game Plus run. So it's like, that wouldn't really be feasible. And then you have to do all the verses, get all the stuff, get all the Umbran Tears. Like all 30 of those, you have to get all the tag cards, you gotta do like everything in the game, and that's like 15, 16 hours. Well, the thing is though, actually, they didn't screw it up. That was like, Star Fox Zero was legitimately not Platinum's fault, which is kind of crazy for people to hear, but it's the truth. Miyamoto insisted upon the gimmick of using the pad to aim. Like, to basically, instead of, like, doing the controls, because Platinum was actually, they wanted to say, like, kept saying, like, the game's not fun, you need to be able to aim and shoot like you normally do on the control pad instead of using your stupid little Wii tablet. And Miyamoto is literally about gimmicks, so he was like, he fought him, I guess, he's like, no, you have to put this stuff in. So that's what basically killed it. It was not Platinum's fault, which is crazy, because this was, like, their first test run for it, so... And it works just fine, but when you try to use in that stupid tablet for it, which is also the reason why we haven't gotten a new F-Zero game, because Miyamoto literally has said that he couldn't think of a gimmick to put into it, which is why he hasn't done it. Which is why we don't have a new F-Zero game. Yeah. I mean, it's like he bungled the Wii U so bad, they finally took him off of hardware development. Which is pretty much what happened on the Switch. So, like, you have nothing involved with it, which is basically, the Switch is a Wii U 2, basically. It's a revenge of the Wii U. I mean, the Wii U is kind of like a prototype for the Switch, if you will. Yeah, it's like, because basically Miyamoto has shifted from, like, coming up with really great ideas to basically just coming up with gimmicks, which he has fully admitted, like, yeah, I'm trying to think, what gimmick can I put into something? You don't need a gimmick, you just need to have something that's fun. And for Star Fox, he had to have, like, you know, I have to have it, so everyone has to use the motion tablet in order to aim. So I had to look back and forth between two televisions, which isn't going to work. And that's why Star Fox Zero is terrible and Bayonetta 2 is actually the best Star Fox game in recent history. When Nintendo's not busy trying to remake like Star Fox 64 for the billionth time. Okay, need... Oh, I got screwed on materials. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Yeah, one more. He's involved with Pokemon now? I don't know who's in charge of that because I don't play Pokemon. Pokemon was like a little bit after my time, kind of, for games. I was in high school, and I knew some kids like were really into it then. I know some adults are still into it now, but it was just past my time. I tried playing it. I'm just like, I don't get it. It's like, I know other people like it, and that's fine. But for me, I'm just like, no. Crap. Okay, managed this wrong. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. Alright, equip. Up to there. Crap. Got the bombing run, so that's a waste of time. And the final spin to win, which Ace Krana has told me is one of the speedrunners we have for this game. I don't think he's done a run recently. I think he's focusing more on Bayonetta 1. But it's like, he told me like if you don't make the rotations all in time, he just blocks the space station and takes half the damage. Okay, Boulder, please stop helping. Everyone keeps trying to help and they're not. So let's see, let's figure this out here. So this is probably looking like a 1:56 time, which isn't that great. But of course I've been playing Jeanne for the past 3 weeks, so I'm not used to playing Bayonetta anymore. Because Jeanne just handles so much differently than Bayonetta. It is the exact opposite of how you play the game, just about. Yeah, this is probably gonna be about a 1:55. So it's about 4 minutes from now. So yeah, it's gonna be like real close 1:55. It doesn't matter if you kill everybody in the credits right now, because this part here is all on a timer. So even if I had like failed and not killed everybody, or somehow got killed myself, it just basically gives you like a skull and crossbones, you move on. The only part that does matter is the very last sequence where you're on top of Enzo's airplane, because that is where the timer stops when you kill the very last enemy in that segment. Oh, swords, I've missed you. Oh, there's top trolling. There we go. So big surprise, this will be a new world record. Because it was myself and some other guy who just ran at one time. So figured, let's just do easy mode just to maybe somebody else will come along and crush the record and nobody plays it. Currently at this time, nobody plays it. Okay, I didn't know he was involved with that. So I learned. That's cool. I heard people are really upset about the national dex or something like that, like all your old Pokemon not going into the new games or something crazy. Like I said, I don't play Pokemon, so I have no idea what's going on. I've just heard third-party stuff, you know, from other people. On what you call old and out of it. Not cool. And it's taking the long way. There we go. Cool, so this is another improvement by like about 5 minutes, I think. So, cool. As always, I always end my always record as well, like, cool. This will be no different.